Facebook Live, right? So today our topic is on the most profitable developments in Singapore. Okay, but to put things into context, right? We are focusing in on new launch developments that were sold between 2014 to 2015, right? So these new launch developments were launched and sold between 14 and 15 at the onset of the oversupply. For those of you who are unsure of what I'm talking about, later I will share with you the supply cycle and the supply chart, and then from there you'll be able to understand more, right? And these developments were sold in the resale market, right, last year to this year, at the onset of the undersupply of TOP units. Okay, so let me move on to talk a little bit about what I mean by the onset of oversupply and the onset of undersupply. So these developments that we are taking a look at today, we are analyzing today, I think you should be able to see my mouse. Okay, they were launched 1.4 to 1.5. If you notice at the upward movement, right, at the bottom of the upward slope, right, towards the oversupply period of the TOP projects between 1.5 and 1.6. Okay, and they were sold in 1.9 in the resale market. TOP already then sold in the resale market 2019, 2020. Okay, so sell when it's going up, buy when it's going up, sell when it's going down. So why we choose this period, right, and these projects to look at? Because notice how the supply chart is very, very similar. We love to talk about the supply charts if you have been following us, right? So this go up, go down. So if we block off the left side, right, the slopes look very, very similar. Similarly go up and coming down again. Okay, so we see a lot of similarities solely from the supply point of view, right? And then let's dive into it a little bit more and see what we can learn from all this data, right? All these transactions.
Okay, yeah. So how we're going to compare across the project that we have chosen, right? We have chosen analyze percentage gains to appleize all the different projects, and then we can see which one performs better. So what exactly is analyze percentage gains? The formula is actually really just the profit that the owner has made over the purchase price. That is the gains, but we analyze it in terms of the number of years that was being held. So then you get the percentage of increase per year for the period that is being held. So let's take an example. This actually came up in the Business Times earlier this week. So for this case, the shop house at Club Street was being sold at 15.7 million, but they bought it in 2006 for 4 million. So then you have that profit of 11.7 million. So your annualized percentage gains would be 11.7 million being your profit over your purchase price of 4 million, and then you divide that by 14 years to find the annualized percentage gains. So you can see here 20.8% annualized percentage gains. I think this is like probably one of the best percentage gains you can ever find. And note that this is without leverage. If we were to factor in the down payment, if they had taken a loan, then your annualized gains will probably be even higher than this 20.8%.
Yeah, don't we all hope
that
or all wish
can
that
all perform like that?
Yeah, and all wish that our grandparents had left us with a shop house like this.
Yeah.
Right, on to the next point, right? So this is what we have prepared. Trivia to for all those of you who are with us today. Which area has the best capital appreciation? Right? So if you think it's the OCR, put number 3. Put the number 3 in the chat. If you think it's the RCR, put 2. If you think it's the CCR, put 1. Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with the terms OCR, RCR, CCR, right, I put in a map here, Okay, so your CCR is your district 1, 2, 6, 9, 10, 11, right? Your CBD, if you can see my mouse, it is Sentosa lah, Marina Bay lah,
Your Orchard
Road, River Valley, those places. Okay, then your RCR would be the city fringe, right? Demarcated with that black line over here, right? So a lot of people, this is interesting note, a lot of people think that the RCR is divided up by districts, but it is not true. Notice how on the left, you see how Clementi is actually divided, district 5, right? Segregated via Clementi Road. On the left of Clementi Road, you are OCR. On the right, you are the RCR. Okay,
same on the east side, where you have Steel Road dividing District 15, and then further up, Eunos Link dividing District 14. So depending on which side of the road you are, you would then be classified as either RCR or OCR.
So let us know what you guys think, right? You think OCR will make more money? 3. Put 3. RCR, put 2. CCR, put 1. Okay? So we are there's a bit of a delay from this, so we wouldn't know. Okay, so but just put it in, right, so you can see, and then we can address it. Think you are right or wrong, but if you shy, you scared to be wrong, think in your heart lah, think in your heart. then we will give the answer to you later. Second question, okay, location specific, right? So we have Farrer Road, right? Beside Farrer Road and Martinia Holland Village, we have Marina Bay, we have Paya Lebar, Queenstown, Pasir Ris, and Jalan Kayu. So think in your heart lah, or for those of you who are especially those of you who are shy, think in your heart, which one make more money? The developments in which district make more money? You can key in the short form. Hey, hi Timothy. Thanks for the consistent support, Timothy. If you help me reply, okay? Farrer Road, Marina Bay.
I think Long chose 3 as in OCR for our previous question.
Yep. So keep the answers coming. Let us know which one you think. We'll give you the answer later on. Farrer Road, Marina Bay, Paya Lebar, Queenstown, Pasir Ris, Jalan Kayu. Which one make the most money? Okay. Farrer Road, Timothy. Okay, like answer, right? We don't keep you guys waiting too long. The developments we have picked up, alright? D Liden at Farrer Road, Marina 1 at Marina Bay, Sims Urban Oasis at Paya Lebar, Commonwealth Towers at Queenstown, Cocoa Palms at Pasir Ris, and High Park Residences at Jalan Kayu. So why we picked up these developments is because these developments, they have a sufficient number of transactions so that we can derive and have a sufficient data set to analyze it properly. They were all launched between the 2014-15 and the TOP also around the same period, and we see all the transactions coming in also within this 2 years lah, right? So average annualized gains, you see, Liden 0.81, because we have 130 make money, 34 to make money lah. So gonna drag down the percentage until 0.81% annualized. Marina 1 1.56, Sims Urban Oasis 3.54, Commonwealth Towers 3.39, Cocoa Palms 4.16, High Park Jalan Kayu 5.39. So Ming Long gave the right answer in terms of the OCR. Okay. So but Timothy, Farrer Road actually don't perform so well lah. Alright. A lot of interesting data that we can see from here. You also notice the CCR tend to have a significant, right, quite a fair number of non-profitable transactions. You notice in the OCR, very, very little non-profitable transactions. So think about it. Why is there such
varied performance?
Correct. Such varied performance. Okay, so this is the answer, right? But how do we make use, or what can we learn from all this data? So we classify them 5W, 1H, right? Your where, what, where, when, why, who, and how. Okay, we use all these different pointers. Now don't be sad, Timothy. It's okay. But now you know. Today you know. Okay. So
Yeah.
right, let's get to it. First one.
Yeah, so first one, where the question would be, where is the most profitable condo located at? So I think we got our answer quite clearly from the exercise earlier, that the OCR developments outperform the rest of the other projects quite significantly, and it's really surprising because most people would think, or the buyers that we speak to, they always think that the CCR is where you find your most profitable or most well-performing assets. So let's explore that why later. And for the most profitable of all of them, that means comparing even the OCR, where we look at Coco Palms and High Park, the most profitable one was High Park, and we just want to show you, where High Park is located, because I don't think a lot of people know where High Park is located. So we have taken some screenshots. Let's show you. So we have High Park here. It is a 6-minute walk to the nearest mall, Seletar Mall, not a very big mall, just your normal neighborhood mall. And the interesting thing here is that you see this screenshot that we have. The MRT is not nearby. We are only near the LRT station. Okay, so I don't have a better screenshot for this, but for those, yeah, okay, this is where you can then see. You see, we are significantly, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LRT stops away from the MRT station. So location-wise, I would say it's not the most ideal of locations. And then we compare it to another project, Commonwealth Towers, which was one of the projects that we picked up for the RCR. Commonwealth Towers, you see, is actually right beside the MRT. Queenstown is also a much better location in terms of locality compared to Sengkang. So, it really drives the question of, is location that important for us when it comes to capital appreciation? And do we need to be near an MRT to make a lot of money? Do we need to be near the city to make a lot of money? So the answer in this scenario is no lah. We don't have to. Actually, being further away make more money. So let's figure out why later on. Okay?
Yeah. So, but of course, there's advantages to be near the MRT. Don't get us wrong. We are not saying that don't buy near the MRT, right? But it is counterintuitive, really. Like Kenneth in my other chat put in Queenstown to be the best performing, right? And it is good. Queenstown, the return 3-point-something% annualized, it is good, but it just comes as a big surprise to even the both of us how well the OCR is performing, how well a development like High Park Residences is performing.
Where the location is like so ulu, as you would call it.
Yes, right? So of course we love our listeners a lot, and we thought it is something really quite interesting to share right? So the question, right? Why the OCR is outperforming the CCR? Right? Anybody want to make a guess? Hi Kit, hi Chris. Thanks for joining us again, right? Anyone, right, want to make a guess why the OCR is outperforming, right, the RCR and the CCR? Okay? Let us know right? Okay. So what we think is this, right? Let's look at these 5 transactions, right? These are the 5 most profitable transactions within High Park Residences.
Over 4 years, make 400k.
Okay, 450k, 400k, right? Average about, right? This is the top 5 So the thing we want to ask ourselves, right, is this: with all the availability of online data nowadays, do you think that the buyer of 1035 don't know that he is paying, or all these 5 buyers in the resale market don't know that they are paying the first time owners a profit of 400, close to 400,000? Right? Do you think they don't know? Our guess is they will know lah. Because the buyers we serve nowadays, they all know how much the owner buy one. They don't even need us to tell them. So that is how prevalent all this online information is nowadays. But then the thing to think about is, why would somebody still willingly pay a person $400,000 in profit? And this is for a location like that, right? So why we think, yes, Chris, I guess after a while there's a limit to how high prices can rise, and OCR has larger room to grow. Correct, right? Good answer. Because the OCR start from a lower base point, right? But why I'm sharing this case study, right? These few case studies with you guys is to share with you all the mindset and the thought process behind what is driving this growth. Well, the answer is, right, most likely they know, but why? Because no choice, right? No choice. Because of a lack of flexibility. Look at the sizes of the units that were sold. These are 3 premium, 4 bedders, 5 bedders. Who are the buyers? We will talk about it later on. Who do you think are these buyers, right? Most likely, they are upgraders, right? Big families that do not have the flexibility of buying a new launch development and going out to rent, right? Because this brings us to this other question that a lot of people ask us, which is, you all say, everybody say buy new development, then next time who will buy resale, right? So that's the answer you get lah, right? Those that lack the flexibility, right? Those that are limited by flexibility have no choice but to buy resale property, and they probably know that they are giving the first time owners that kind of profit, but they willingly do so. They have to lah, no choice okay? So right, that's the point I wanted to talk about, right? Who?
Yeah, so Alvin already talked a little bit about who the buyers are. But yeah, let's look at another trivia whereby we have picked out 3 different buyer profiles for 3 different developments. One of them being Marina One, the other being High Park Residences, and the third one being Commonwealth Towers. So looking at these buyer profiles, which one do you think is the one that, was the one for High Park Residences? Actually, from here, it's very clear, it's very easy to tell. Number 3, right, will probably be for Marina One, because that is where you get your largest percentage of foreigners, 33.6%, and your upgraders from HDB, very low percentage, 15.9%. And we versus that to number 1, whereby 72.9% is your HDB upgraders. So people with a family needing a large enough space to stay. And when we see this kind of buyer profiles, then it goes along to reinforce the mindset of like, who do we want to be selling to in the future? Who will pay more for your property, an investor or an owner-occupier? So that's why we are, if you have listened to us for the past few times, you understand that we always emphasize on this, to visualize who will you be selling to in the future when you buy a property. So we always like to look down to the detail as possible, thinking about all your different factors. Are we going to sell to a Singapore upgrader with kids? Do they drive? Do they need to stay near parents? Or, do they need a storeroom? Do they need the amenities nearby? And things like that. And then the next thing that you want to think about is that how big is this buyer pool that you are targeting? Which one will be larger? Your investor or your rich foreigners, for example, your rich PRC or rich Indonesian buyers who like to buy your CCR projects, or your HDB upgraders looking to stay still in the heartlands of Singapore. Yeah, so when we think about this, then we can then visualize who we're going to sell to in the future. Okay, then moving on. Yeah, so just to re-emphasize, always visualize who you will be selling your property to in the future. And the next thing is how, in the sense, how are we going to be selling our property? Because I think when people look at new launches, right, they are always comparing to how the developer is selling, but they don't think about how they themselves will be reselling it the next time they have to in the resale market. Not that it is a confirm that you must sell it, but just in case you have to sell it, how are you going to be able to sell it? So it's very different when the developer is selling it, because the developer has lots of agents selling the project. They have the money to build a super nice show flat, and wow people, with all the IB treatment and things like that. Versus, when you're in the resale market, how many agents can you get? Maybe one, maybe two. I think the maximum we see before maybe about 3 or 4, but that's about it, compared to like hundreds of agents selling for the developer. And when the developers do it right, when you have so much attention, then you can generate enough interest going into that development, into that area. Versus, in the resale market, you're just one listing out of the many listings in the property group. So that brings us to another point, which is it actually bad if you buy into a large development? Because when you're a large development, inevitably people will know where you are. For example, the West Siders all know Ivory Heights, Park Oasis. The East Siders, they will know Mandarin Gardens. So it's like, a comparison. How many people know Mandarin Gardens and how many people heard of Cathay Gardens before?
They are just side by side.
Yeah.
If you look on the map, they are not too far away from one another.
I don't think many people has heard of Cathay Gardens unless you really stay in the area or you have a friend staying in the area. Yeah, so I think how to sell the property is also another thing that we have to think about, and this is something that you should also ask your agent, how your agent plans to sell the property for you in the future, should you ever need to sell your property.
Yeah, so so for us, right, we will visualize together with our buyers, the clients, how we sell the property. Today you want to buy this property. The day when you sell, let's go through that thought process together, right? How we gonna sell it? Who we gonna sell it to? Yeah. Right? It can go to very, very detailed. Most likely the buyer is gonna buy that location for the school, right? They won't drive, unlikely to drive, what kind of age profile, coming from which cluster of HDB MOP, to that kind of detail, as detailed as you can go. Because if you cannot visualize,
then there's very little confidence,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, right? What drives the market? So for I think based on what we have shared, right? I think all of you should roughly understand where we are coming from, right? The buyers drive the market, right? So be it you buy new launch or you buy resale, right? Whether or not you can make money is whether or not there's a buyer that come in later on to buy the unit from you, right? So once you understand who are the buyers, you will understand what drives the market, which is why we put a lot of effort into sharing with all our listeners, right? How do you visualize who are the buyers, right? But that being said, right, it doesn't mean that all of you should go and buy the OCR. Right? It doesn't mean that, don't buy near MRT.
Yeah, it doesn't mean OCR is the correct choice for everybody.
Yeah, because this is just one factor, right? There are also other factors, right? Like your risk appetite, your holding period, for example. You see, Marina One, this is an example of the transactions at Marina One, right? Their best performing one, 10% per annum. Hold less than 1 year, make $500,000. So yes, still can make. Actually, you want to make money anywhere, also you can make, right? But it's just coming back, taking a step back and understanding, right? Number one, again, who are your buyers? What drives the market? Okay? Right? And lastly, right? When? I think this one is a golden question, right? When is a good?
Everyone's asking us, it's now a good time.
Right? When is
a good time to enter?
Right? So you see, all the people that make money, right, quite a fair bit of the transactions actually occurred this year during
the selling part.
The selling part, so and right? Based on logic, this year would be a terrible time to sell, right? Because of COVID. Okay? So, which is again why we love the supply chart, because based on the supply chart, 2019 and 2020 is where there is a undersupply of TOP projects. Undersupply. So people that want to buy brand new developments, right, they got not many choices. And that allows the seller to charge a higher premium. Okay? So the examples you gave, right, our D-Liden, our High Park, right, they were sold at the onset of the oversupply, okay, and developer sell lah, so the buyers bought, and then hold and sell here. So today we are here approaching the upward movement, and as we have shared with in our previous Facebook lives, no land sales, very little land sales, little to no en bloc in the last ever since the cooling measure came about in July 2018. So we are entering 2.5 years, close to 2.5 years already, going to 2.5 years, right, of little to no land supply. So there's bound to be a undersupply moving forward. So, right, those of you that catch it, you catch it, right? Same, the chart looks the same. Okay, so when, right, you look at the chart, you get an answer. Yeah, so right, today quite heavy in content, quite heavy in numbers. So we don't know whether you all can see the numbers.
Yeah,
there, especially those of you that see
from the handphone, maybe it's a little bit difficult.
So those of you that cannot see, we put our numbers down here. You all can drop us a text for the info. More than happy to share. And also, right, you all have seen the breakdown of the what we did for D-Liden, all those. Anyone has a development they want to have this data, right? Drop us a text, or actually you can even put the development name in the comments, right? We will dig it out for you and personally send it to you. Okay, if you want to put it there, we will share it with you guys. So that's about it for our sharing today.
If you guys have any questions right now, you could drop it in the comment box.
Yeah, Chris, Timothy, Kit, any questions?
If not, you can feel free, process the information first, and then you can chat with us another time. Understand that the information today is a little bit heavy compared to the other times.
Yeah, questions. Okay, so after that, let's go to, yeah. Questions, anybody? Welcome, Kit.
Thanks for joining us, Kit.
Our loyal supporter. Okay, we'll just wait another 1 minute or so for any questions. So for those of you who hi Han Bin, long time no see. On the other chat, we have Ivan, Vina. Hope you're still here with us.
Okay, I think we don't really have questions for today.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit too chim. Hopefully not too chim until all lost or blur. That's why no question.
If it's too technical, let us know also, so we know how to tailor the Facebook content.
Kid says we look tired and we need a rest. Probably lah. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to rest. Catch you guys 2 weeks from now. Right? See you guys. Take care. Take care, everyone.
See you.
See you. Bye-bye.